So I was going to do my Oscar predictions anyway for this Oscar party I go to, and I figured it would be pretty easy to just film thoughts that I had already formulated. So this is that. To anyone new to Oscar predictions in general, you cannot base your predictions on things that you actually want to win, or even things that you think are objectively the best in their category. If you actually want to get your predictions right, you have to base them off of cold calculating data. You basically just have to look at what's winning at all the billions of award shows that happen before the Oscars, look at how accurately those award shows predict the Oscar winner, then mix in a bunch of Hollywood buzz and whatnot, then add points for things like, oh, this movie takes place in Los Angeles. The last part is especially necessary for categories like the short categories. As an example, last year, one of the categories that I got wrong was the documentary short. I predicted that Heroin was going to win because it looked like a political film and Oscar voters love that kind of thing, but I failed to look deeper into the film Heaven is a Traffic Jam on the 405 because it didn't look as timely or deep. What I failed to realize, because I don't live in LA, is that the 405 is the highway that goes through LA. So the Academy just looked at the title and were like, hey, I've been in a traffic jam on the 405. Oscar. Predicting Oscars is a mess of digging around what a bunch of old people think and then filtering to the most pretentious bullshit. I found the compilation to be fun though, and I'm generally pretty good at it, so I figured I would just share my opinions here. I also ordered my list in the order that they'll be presented in. Supporting actor, I chose Mahershala Ali. He's pretty much won every supporting actor nomination at this point, so he's gonna win. Makeup, I chose Vice. It's kind of like last year with The Darkest Hour. They made Christian Bale look like Dick Cheney, so that one's probably going to win. Costume design for me is between The Favorite and Black Panther. I personally chose The Favorite. I'll get into that a little bit more when I go into production design. Documentary, I chose Free Solo. It's either that or RBG, and I think that Free Solo has been winning more awards than RBG. But RBG is a political film, and so that might sneak by. So sound editing and sound mixing. I chose Bohemian Rhapsody for both of these. I think it's definitely going to win sound mixing. I'm less confident on sound editing though. The MPSE went with Bohemian Rhapsody, and that's pretty much the entirety of what I'm basing my opinion on for this. This might be the category that I least think has a definitive answer, to be honest. So production design, once again, is between The Favorite and Black Panther, in my opinion. I chose The Favorite again, just like with costume design. Production design usually goes to the film that has the most nominations, and this year that's Roma and The Favorite. And so I'd go with The Favorite instead of Black Panther with that, and then also with costume, because those two kind of go hand in hand. For foreign film, I chose Roma. I mean, Cold War could win if people are kind of trying to root for the underdog, but like Roma is nominated for Best Picture, so there's no reason that it shouldn't win Best Foreign Film too. With supporting actress, everyone is talking about the fact that Regina King didn't get nominated even for the BAFTA or the SAG Award. Those are two of the three biggest awards that a person needs to win to be a lock-in for the Oscars. And Regina King didn't even get nominated, so you'd figure that she probably wouldn't win too, right? But she did win for the Golden Globes and the Critics' Choice. The SAG winner wasn't nominated for an Oscar. That was Emily Blunt for A Quiet Place. And the talk around Hollywood has been overwhelmingly in favor of Regina King. I'm optimistically skeptical about this one in a really weird way. I'm going with Regina 100%, but I would not be surprised at all if Rachel Weisz won this one. All she won was the BAFTA, which, like, British, so come on. But the BAFTA is an important step to being able to win the Oscar. Animated short, I chose Bao. It's Pixar. And animated feature, I chose Spider-Man. That one is pretty much winning everything at this point. Visuals, I chose Infinity War. I think that finally Marvel is going to win one of their visual effects. This isn't really a strong year for visual effects, and the Infinity War effects were like really good. Editing, Vice won the BAFTA, and it's getting the most buzz, so I'm going with that one. Documentary short. None of these are about LA this year, I checked. The documentary short and the live action short categories can be difficult to pin down. There aren't a lot of award shows that align with the Oscars that well for shorts. I watched a video with some experts talking about these categories. Black Sheep is the one that's getting the most buzz right now, but the experts said that really has no bearing on the Oscars. They said that the race was between period end of sentence and Endgame, and since Endgame is about old people and period end of sentence is about women, I'm going to go with Endgame. I usually don't just go with one source on the internet, but this category has always been the hardest one for me to predict. And for live action short, I'm going with Marguerite, sort of to counteract what I was saying about the other category. Marguerite is the favorite to win for this one, so I think that balancing that out, I'll probably get at least one of those right. For the screenplays, The WGAs were weird this year. Can You Ever Forgive Me won the WGA, but BlacKkKlansman looks like it's going to be the one to win, especially since it's Spike Lee's first Oscar. An original screenplay at the WGAs went to Eighth Grade, I think rightfully so, because that's an amazing film that got snubbed in a lot of categories. But it's not nominated at the Oscars, so I'm going with The Favorite. Cinematography is Roma, obviously. For score, I chose If Beale Street Could Talk because of Buzz. Mostly. Song, I went with Shallow. There's really no competition there. Directing, Alfonso Cuarón. Also, really no competition. It's going to be sad to see Spike Lee not get it, I think. But, you know, Alfonso Cuarón did a better job. Actor, I went with Rami Malek. It's interesting because at the beginning of the award season, I was definitely thinking that Christian Bale was going to win because his performance was actually really pretty good. Once again, it was the same thing with The Darkest Hour last year. He acted like a person that we know. Rami Malek did that too, just in a less good film, in my opinion. And he's been winning all of the awards, so I'm going to go with Rami. Actress, I went with Glenn Close. She's been winning all the awards as well, and also she hasn't won an Oscar before. And Best Picture, I went with Roma because once again, it's winning all of the awards. It's getting all of the buzz, and it's an amazing, amazing film. And since it got the most nominations, that certainly helps as well. And I don't think that The Favorite, who also got the same amount of nominations, can really get this one. So that was my Oscar predictions. Let me know in the comments your Oscar predictions for the two of you watching. I'd like to know at least what you think is going to win Best Picture. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week with a bit of a surprise.